Tour of Yorkshire. We're at the launch of the Tour of Yorkshire route. What's it like to ride the Tour of Yorkshire?
Yeah, when I did it back in 2015, yeah, it was really well supported, and the crowds are amazing, and it's great to be able to ride in such great company on home roads.
It's quite a different experience to ride a race like this. The Tour of Yorkshire, Tour of Britain, Ride London, etc. Compared to the domestic races.
Yeah, it's really nice to be rubbing shoulders with such high caliber world class riders, and get to do it in on your home roads as well. And some of the, like you say, Tour of Britain onto home roads, and then for next year. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully.
And the races are so different, though, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just really controlled. But yeah, we'll prove before we can make an impact in the race, and I'm sure we will again next year.
And John's a few changes to the team this year, but still a very strong team.
Yeah, I think there's only 4 changes, so the core of the team is still pretty much the same. So yeah, I'm sure everybody will fit in and will gel.
Just tell us about 2017. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was a really good year to win the Tour Series again. Yeah, that was another one on the list ticked off. So then to do a ride at the Nationals and to do a ride at the Tour of Britain, that was finished off the year well for myself personally. Yeah. But as a team, we pretty much dominated the whole UK scene, so I was very happy with that.
Well, just go back to that ride in the Tour of Britain. Just tell us about that stage.
Yeah, the first 3 stages being in the break, it was unbelievable, and after that stage, after the 3 stages being in the break, the legs were pretty tired towards the end of the race, but yeah, it was good to be up at the sharp end of the race.
And how much of an effect does it have? Because we've got 1 2-day race, Tour of Reservoir, the rest of them are all single-day races.
Yeah.
How much of an effect does that have on you?
John, I put a lot in leading up to the race, a lot of back-to-back days, and because I'm just mainly doing like you say, 1-day races and crits. It's hard to go into those stage races and get that feeling of fatigue and racing day in, day out on your bike for 7 days. So but we get paid for, and it's our job, and so we have to be in the best conditions we can for that race. So personally, I done a stage race for myself for I don't think I did one the whole of last year, so or the whole of this year. So it was nice to get in the team and still be up there towards the end. And I got the most aggressive rider for the whole race in Tour of Britain. So that was the highlight.
Well, I guess just making the team, John's team, that was a victory.
Yeah, that was a victory, and I said, put my neck on the line and said I wanted to try and go for a jersey and try and what could I bring to the team if I was in the team for the race, and I wanted to try and go for a jersey, and I was pretty close to that, so I was had my head held high at the end of the season.
What was the highlight of the whole season?
To do a ride at the Nationals, that was to get top 10 at the National, to be in such good company, and it was a really tough circuit and the finishing circuit, so it's always nice to prove some people wrong that you're not just a crit rider, it can be up there in the Nationals as well. So
well, I just want to remind people you were the first rider, under 23 rider on a Tour of Peaks, 2007. It's been a long career. The number of years, when I go past 2003, you were in the time trial there. That's all sort of, is it a blur?
I just trying to keep things fresh from doing time trials, hill climbs, winning Monsell Hill climb, to getting on the podium at national trophies, and just try and keep it fresh and keep getting be motivated to get out of bed and keep training.
Well, I guess as a professional though that can win races, and you have won a lot of races in your career, that must help you make it a career.
Yeah.
Because it's more difficult for a domestique, might struggle to.
Like I say, you just need to keep motivated, and once you have that, I think it's quite natural if you have that mentality to win races, and you're quite driven, and it's a really nice feeling to win races. So I really like that feeling, and that's what gets you out of bed in the morning, to keep motivated and keep off getting a proper job as long as I can.
So you're still as hungry as ever for 2018?
I've put my neck on the line again, and I wanted to go to Australia and start the season early and would be easy to be at home with family, but yeah, it'll be nice to get out there, get some good weather training, and set a good base for good foundations for the season.
Well, I guess the team going out in January instead of December and being able to spend Christmas here, that's probably a big factor.
Yeah, I know in previous years we've been at the airport on Christmas Day evening, so yeah, it'll be nice to go out a bit later. Got a training camp with the family, that's the intention anyway, and go away to Tenerife on the 15th of December, so that'll be set me up again, hopefully get some nice miles in before Australia, and keep ticking over.
Now, when I arrived in Australia, people wondered why I wanted to ride a bike during the winter, but here you are doing cyclocross. What does a cyclocross do for you during the winter?
It just helps me keep on board and keep that race mentality, and keep everything ticking over, and not when you start the season again it's a big hassle, or not a hassle, but getting ready for everything, and it just keeps you on it by doing them cross races, keep that little bit of focus, and I like winning bike races, any bike races, and I can always go harder as soon as I pin a number on, so yeah, it's nice to just do something different, and rather than just keep hammering the miles on the road, I like going out on my cross bike and having some fun with the lads, and then doing the races at weekends, so keeps a nice bit of top end. What's
the effort different? How is the effort different to a road race?
It just reminds me of a tour series really, or a crit. It's just flat out from the word go till the cross the line. So yeah, I'm getting similar numbers to what I would in a tour series. So doing them kind of races, you're always going flat out. So it's great to keep that.
So how much more cyclocross is there before you concentrate on the road?
I'm just going to do a couple, one more before I go to Tenerife, and then a couple more around the Christmas period, and then that'll be it, I think.
Right. And then you mentioned Tenerife.
Yeah, that's just with a family, but the idea is to go out and get some good quality training in, but the family is coming in as well, so.
You've probably trained in a lot of places, had a lot of warm weather, different training camps. Any particular favourites? Why Tenerife?
It's just like you just got just ride up the mountain, and all you got to do is thinking about is pushing on the pedals. You don't really have to think about doing any intervals, or you're just riding up a mountain, which is hard. It's a hard feat in itself, but for a fat lad, it keeps you on the pedals.
One final question then. 2018. You've done all the races. There probably isn't a race that you haven't done.
Yeah.
So, is there anything in particular you've got your eye on?
All the big races really, and I really proved something to myself that in the Tour of Britain this year, that I could be, competitive, day in day out, and get in the breaks and be close to a jersey. So that's what keep my fire in my belly for next year, and try do the big races, get in the big races, and try and go for some jerseys, intermediate sprints or whatever.
So you'd love to repeat that at the Tour of Yorkshire next year?
Yeah, that's one of the goals. Yeah, it's really great that I couldn't do it this year, but I'm super motivated to be in the race next year.